Violent crime has been cause for concern the past 2 summers in Brooklyn Park, leading to an ominous statement earlier this year from the Brooklyn Park police chief.
And quite honestly, not a whole heck of a lot has changed, and I'm scared to death of what 2022 is going to bring.
Today, CCX News takes a closer look at the issue. Brooklyn Park Chief Craig Envoldson joined local elected leaders Wednesday for a roundtable discussion on public safety. Delane Cleveland was there and filed this report.
Shannon, it's no secret that crime has risen in Brooklyn Park over the last couple of years, especially when it comes to gun violence. Now, state lawmakers are looking for ways to help provide the city with more financial resources.
People need to feel and be safe in their homes, in their businesses, in their neighborhoods, in the schools. And they don't right now, honestly. I hear from people consistently who are moving out of our city to where they might feel safer.
Brooklyn Park Mayor Lisa Jacobson was joined by Police Chief Craig Envoldson, Hennepin County Commissioner Jeff Lundy, and State Senator John Hoffman. Hoffman wanted to organize this roundtable discussion because the DFL has $500 million worth of public safety bills aimed at crime reduction and prevention. The goal is to invest in community programs, the courts, and the juvenile justice system. This event is aimed at finding out what's happening in the city and where the state can invest those resources.
People have some public safety concerns, where we're at in the community. And so it should be no idea is a bad idea, especially if we haven't talked about it in the past. Rather, what does it really look like and can we achieve that?
Sometime in the next month or so, Republicans and Democrats at the state capitol are going to have to come together to reach some sort of compromise. In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
A Brooklyn Park police officer has been given a special honor for saving a child's life during a hostage crisis. Officer Andrew Tolbert served as a crisis negotiator after he learned an armed burglary suspect was holding a 7-year-old boy hostage in a home. The incident happened early last year. Tolbert was able to establish a rapport with the suspect from outside of a door. After an hour of negotiating, he successfully arranged for the release of the child unharmed. For his efforts, Tolbert was named Negotiator of the Year by the Special Operations Training Association. The incident did have an unfortunate ending. The suspect took his own life despite the officer's best attempts to get him to surrender peacefully. Since Minnesota became a state in 1858, there's never been a black woman elected to the Minnesota Senate. That could change this November, and Jason Malello has the story.
Hulda Momani Hiltzley didn't set out to potentially make history.
Can you imagine 164 years and we've never had a black woman into our Senate?
But come November, Hiltzley could be the first black woman ever elected to Minnesota's upper house. The 21-year Brooklyn Center resident is seeking the DFL nomination for Senate District 38.
One of the main things that I've been pushing within my campaign is this idea of inclusivity, making it easy for people, for residents to participate.
Hiltzley will run in an August primary against Brooklyn Park City Council member Susan Pa, the first person of color ever elected to serve on the council in that city. Experts say this new wave of political candidates shows women of color are not content to be on the sidelines anymore.
It also will shift completely how we look at politics, how we look at, institutional barriers that may exist, but then also systemic barriers that may exist where women have not always been at the table.
And for Hulda Hiltzley, she's proud to be a part of our changing political landscape.
There is excitement, there's energy, there's momentum around that.
Jason Malillo, CCX News.
Maple Grove resident Fario Khalif, a Somali refugee and community activist, won the DFL endorsement this past weekend for the newly redrawn Senate District 37. She's expected to face longtime Republican Senator Warren Limmer. Take a look at this video taken in 2020, only weeks before the COVID-19 pandemic shut down just about everything. Students with the Iron Gears Robotics team were set to compete at a world championship after winning state, and they couldn't have been more excited about competing on an international stage. The Iron Gears have won 2 more state championships since then, and they finally have a shot as seniors to get back to the world championships.
This was what we used at state.
If you really want something, you've got to be willing to work for it.
We're pretty ready. We've been crunching the last couple days.
You can see proof of that in a Dayton basement.
For now, we're making do with what we have, and we've converted my basement into a robot shop.
It's a lot of trig math.
Where members of a robotics club are finally getting the shot they've been working toward.
So we're super excited to compete in World Championship.
The Iron Gears are one of the best teams in the state.
We have won the state championship for 3 years in a row, which has never been done before.
But COVID has always canceled their chance to advance to world competition until now.
Worlds is a big deal.
The students on this team come from different high schools, learning to make do.
We just meet out of a house instead of a school.
We use a ton of different 3D printed parts on it. It's really helped us make custom parts that would fit our needs.
Learning to pay their way.
We kind of do our own things. We don't get funding from the school. We have to go out and secure sponsorships or do fundraisers to get any funding. Earlier this year, we did a Heggies fundraiser, so we sold a bunch of pizzas.
But this competition, this experience won't be the end.
One thing that's very important to us is that we all have our roles and we all fit our challenges.
Actually, it's only the beginning.
One thing we like to say in robotics is that in, say, basketball, not everyone's going to go pro, but in robotics, everyone has a chance to go pro.
Every student here plans to go into this field in college.
All of us are, broadening our skills. So robotics, it teaches you a ton.
Hopefully taking with them a few awards.
We think we have a very competitive shot at winning awards at the championship
that they've been working toward all along. Congrats to them and good luck. We'll be right back with more news and sports.
The weather hasn't cooperated too often yet for the start of spring sports. Two rivals in District 279 took advantage of indoor space to get their softball game in Tuesday. Jason Melillo has the highlights.
The season starts under the dome for the Maple Grove and Osseo softball teams. Bottom one, first swing of the game for Elizabeth Berry, and she lifts a 2-run homer for Grove. Crimson is on the board quick. Sam Gustafson rips the base hit to score Cassie St. Peter. It's a double for Gustafson, and MG is up 4-0 after one. Top second, Grove's Maddie Wilm strikes out the side. She tosses 4 scoreless innings with 8 Ks. Bottom three, Caitlin Casper base knock scores Barry and St. Peter. Second run-scoring hit of the game for Casper. Bottom fourth, Barry goes yard again. It's an opposite field 2-run homer, putting the Crimson up 8-rip. Bottom fifth, St. Peter base hit scores Alyssa Werns. Maple Grove wins 11-1. Jason Melillo, CCX Sports.
The Crimson and Orioles met up on the baseball diamond Monday after they moved the game up a day based on the forecast. Runs were hard to come by in this pitcher's duel. In prep baseball, Osseo faces Maple Grove as the Jeff Peterson head coaching era begins at Maple Grove. In the bottom of the first with the bases loaded, Zane Vitens grounds to second. Tanner Albeck is in to score for a 1-0 Maple Grove lead, but there isn't much offense from there. Sam Walkerstorfer of Osseo pitches well and gets some defensive help. Hayden Del Castillo with a backhanded stop, and he throws Mason South out. Walkerstorfer allows just 1 hit in 6 innings. Cole Newell is dominant for the Crimson. He fans 12 in 5 2/3 innings while allowing 4 hits. And he gets relief help from Ethan Zimmerman as that first inning run stands up for a 1-0 win for Maple Grove in their season opener. In recent weeks, Park Center head boys basketball coach James Ware was named State Class 4A Coach of the Year, and the Pirates senior Braden Carrington won the Mr. Basketball Award. As John Jacobson reports, Monday night all of the Pirates team received a hero's welcome.
It was a night to celebrate. 2 weeks after their state championship, the Park Center boys basketball team was cheered and recognized by the community and the city of Brooklyn Park for their accomplishment.
We have champions here at City Hall.
The team has definitely felt an outpouring of support since bringing home the first boys team championship in Park Center school history.
I know the emails and the text messages, and hopefully what people saw as a team that really liked each other, cared about each other, didn't care who scored, didn't care, just wanted to go out and get the job done.
A lot of people that have been coming up to me, the whole team basically just congratulating us and saying it's really huge that you did it for us. When I walk out of my community, they tell them, I hear people yelling out the window like, oh, good job, Leo, you did it for us, you know what I mean? So just to hear that, it really like makes you feel like, yeah, you did something for good, for not just for you, but for everybody else.
All of the community that comes together around athletes, it's an amazing coming together. And at this time in our community, we need things that bring us together because there's certainly a lot that is trying to pull us apart.
Park Center won a school record 31 games this season, and that brought a lot of joy to the Pirates family. Monday brought one more night for the players, the coaches, and the cheerleaders to smile.
And I've said this for years, you know, you keep crushing coal long enough and pretty soon you will create diamonds. And behind me are a bunch of diamonds in the rough, and we are extremely proud to be here representing Park Center.
In Brooklyn Park, John Jacobson, CCX Sports.
That's all for sports. I'm Jay Wilcox.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.